No magic smoke.
Yeah, there is.
No. Oh! There it is! What was that sound? Oh, there it is! Woo! All right, everybody. So the other day, Snows, Pat, and me, we were sitting around the lunch table and we were just talking generally about overclocking. There's one thing that we figured that hasn't really been done all that much before, and that is overclocking a fan. Let's talk about some of the components that we've assembled to see if this little experiment of ours is actually going to work. So the most important thing, the heart of this, is a step-up voltage converter. What it does is exactly what the name says. So it takes an incoming voltage and it steps it up to a higher voltage. So in this case, because these fans operate at a maximum of 12 volts, what we want to do is 12 volts and above to get the fans technically running at a faster speed. And that's what we call overclocking, or in this case, over voltage. So what else are we going to do with this? We need to get power into this step-up voltage converter. So we have a barrel connector here that we are going to connect with a pair of wires, which Snows, I forgot to bring the wires on the camera.
Here.
Thank you.
And hold on.
Thank you. To get the power into all of this, we have a very, very typical power supply that you see on pretty much every single cheap device out there. Now on the other end of this, I found something in my garage that is actually perfect for it. So this used to be the artist formerly known as a Molex to 2-pin fan connector. I don't even know if these are available anymore, but I think this is from like the 90s. So let's build this whole thing and I'll see you on the other side of that. Cue the appropriate montage music. All right, so this thing is built, this Frankenstein contraption. Let's see if it actually works. It doesn't. Uh-oh. That's a contact issue inside the barrel connector. Okay, so with that little snafu out of the way, I just didn't tighten one of the wires properly, so luckily it wasn't catastrophic. What this is showing us right now is that we have a 12 volt, 4 amp power supply. So it is incoming 12.1 volts. If you want to see what's going out, right now it is 11.9. So that is basically the baseline or thereabouts for any of the fans that we want to use in this video. I guess it's time for the first fan. Snows? Thank you very much. It is of course, the fastest one, the AlphaCool Rise Aurora. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up just to see if this does work, what we're able to accomplish. All right, so here we have our janky ass setup. Hardware Canucks spares no expense on videos like this, as you can tell. Anyway, so we have the Rise Aurora here, and directly pointing towards it is a tachometer. Technically, when I turn this on, the Rise Aurora is 2500 RPM. So it should be within like 5 to 10% of this. Cross your fingers and toes.
Toes?
Toes, yes, my toes are crossed too. Oh, it did work. It did work. And what are we getting? 2450 RPM. So, Snows,
yeah,
it worked.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try and turn it to like 12.5 to 13 volts. Please work, please work, please work. If not, the video is done. Did it work? Yes!
Successful overclock.
Okay. We're at 13 volts. Nothing has gone boom yet, and we're about 150 RPM higher. For a whole volt, that's not actually that much. All right, we're gonna take it to the next level. A little bit higher. Let's say to 13.7. Next up. Okay, 15.5, I'm stopping there.
It sounds a lot higher pitched.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Where are we going to go with this? We're going to see how far we can take it. Snows has his phone out because he's convinced that either this is going to guillotine me or it's going to explode. So
Give her the beans. Give her the beans.
Give her the beans. 2850 RPM, 17.2 volt, 18 volts. Okay. 2900 RPM. Let's just go. Now I'm just getting drunk on this. I'm excited. We're at 22 volts.
If I'm not mistaken, it smells like magic smoke.
Well, really? Oh, it smells like something's burning. Yeah. Okay, too bad there's no scratch and sniff YouTube because that really actually does smell like magic smoke. Oh. Okay. There's the smoke. There's the smoke.
You gotta disconnect it. It's still connected.
Shit,
Mike.
shit.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, it smells like matches. So we finally got to 23-ish volts. I have no idea what that got to because I was just watching it.
Well, that's bad.
Oh, woof. Okay, so here we are on day 2. We needed to take a little bit of a break in shooting because of some construction outside. So fan number 2, we wanted to validate the fact that we can actually overclock more than just that alpha cool fan. So what is it? It is the, there we go, the famous P12. I hate that alpha cool. This is one of the most legendary fans around. We're gonna start with our little bit of increased voltage. We're gonna go a little bit quicker here because we actually want to just see if there's a result. Here we go. Okay, so we're at 17.6 volts and we're already at, holy shit, that reacted so well. Anyways, 2400 RPM for 5.6 volts. That's a lot faster, straight from the get-go. Let's go to 20 volts, 2500 RPM, 23 volts.
Oh my God.
It's actually, where did we stop with the alpha cool? It was 22 volts?
About, yeah.
Okay, so we're at 2700 RPM. Right now, again, we're probably going to reach the law of diminishing returns because, look at this is only another couple hundred RPM. 25.3 volts. We're at 2900 RPM. Can we hit 3000 RPM without blowing the fan? So I'm gonna go a little bit slower here. 26. It died. We hit, I think it was 2950 RPM. There's no magic smoke. I mean, let's just dial this back a lot. What was that sound? I think that was the fan.
And it's back alive!
What?
It's alive!
It didn't actually kill it. And it's running at 2000 RPM at 15 volts. But the essence of smoke is not there. It must be some sort of fail-safe within the fan. Either way, overclocking a fan is validated. Whether or not you're going to kill your fan, that's TBD. But what I really wanted to do here is take one of these. This is Noctua's NF-A12x25. Now, another thing that we were talking about yesterday after we had shot everything is how do we make this actually practical? Because let's be honest here, we were running off of an external 12-volt power supply. So how do you run it? Off this thing, a standard power supply inside your case. Well, to begin with, you start with one of these. It's a Molex to SATA power adapter. And then you snip a few wires and it becomes this. It's basically your 12 volt and a ground from your SATA power connector. Okay, so the A12, we already have established a baseline that most fans make it past the 20 volt mark. So let's go from 12 volts to 15 to about 20 to 25. So baseline here, we're looking at 2100 RPM, and I'm gonna be quiet for a second, just do a quick decibel reading. So like 48, it's a very quiet fan for what it is. Let's hit that 15 mark right away. 15.3, 2500 RPM. Let's bring it to the next level. Did we want to go 20? Snows, 20?
Yeah, 20.
Okay, so far, I'll be honest with you. You can actually see how Noctua engineered this to be a 2000 RPM fan at 12 volts. Because right now at 20 volts, to my hearing at least, this is the loudest fan. It's also one of the fastest. So we're looking at around 3100 RPM. We're gonna be nice. We're gonna be nice to this thing for the time being. Then we're gonna spank it a little bit. This thing sounds like it's actually gonna take off right now. It's moving a ton of air. Now I don't want to kill this fan. Okay, we're gonna go to 25 here. Oh, she's taking it pretty good. 3500 RPM. This one scales really well with additional voltage. I'm gonna pause for 2 seconds here and put up on the screen at 3500 RPM how much air this is actually pushing compared to stock and where it would land in our fan graphs. Okay, so future Mike here, and I needed to address this separately because my God, the results are totally bonkers. Because look, the regular A12 goes to about here in our noise versus CFM chart, but add the overclock and it goes way, way, way upwards, while of course getting louder, but it never gets as noisy as the T30 or the PPC. And at full speed, this thing gets right up there with the best of the best and massively improves on the stock result. But what I mentioned about diminishing returns, guys, applies here too, since the A12 was never engineered to work at this speed. So it ends up running almost 20% faster than the T30 and PPC while moving less air. So I mean, sure, you don't want to run your Noctua fan at 25 volts, but what does it mean for actual longevity? I mean, first of all, you have to take into account the additional heat that's being built up by that little motor running so fast and so far out of its sort of natural habitat. What does it look like? Well, let's take a thermal imaging camera and check it out. Compared to a standard stock Noctua running at its 2000 RPM, I'm going to put that up right here, you can actually see that there's a significant heat increase. That means, of course, the longevity of your fan is going to be a lot less over the course of time. Not only that, is that Noctua's tolerances on this are just 0.5 millimeters between the edge of the blade and the fan frame itself. Over the course of time, their Sterox blades are meant to compensate for any type of flexing, but that 0.5 millimeters and that tolerance is based on it running for a long time at 2000 RPM. So look, like I said, this is not practical whatsoever, but it is interesting to see how far these things can go. And as I'm talking about that, let's see if we can actually get this Noctua fan to 30 volts. So 27, we're at 3700 RPM. Still no, let's give it the sniff, nothing. Oh, at 28 volts, we got a little bit of resistance from that motor. I think there's a motor limiter inside of there. It says, look, I can't spin any faster. What it does is it sort of like shunts the power a little bit and brings you right back to the 3,700, 3,800 RPM. All right, so I guess that pretty much finishes the video. We set out to see if we can overclock a fan. Did we do it? Absolutely. Is it practical? If you want a little bit more performance. Is this something that can be productized? Maybe, if you want to start voiding the warranty on your fans. Should you do it? Well, probably not, because you're going to significantly reduce the lifespan of your fans. Not only that, with a lot of these things, you're just going to go absolutely batshit crazy because these things are getting so freaking loud. But if you wanted to take like a cheap P12, since it runs at such a low RPM, do this sort of like hobbyist approach and get some additional performance, it's definitely possible. So anyways, look, I hope that you enjoyed this little bit of different content from Snows and I and the other guys here at the office. If you have any other ideas of what you want overclock, please leave it in the comments below. I'm Mike with Hardware Canucks. Snows?
Overclock and AIO on the next episode.
Overclock and AIO. There you go. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.